I've been sober for nearly 10 years now, which means that I did most of my 20s sober, and therefore I have sadly dealt with quite my fair share of sober shaming. Examples of this have included, and are not limited to, why are you being boring? Or, oh, can you not handle your alcohol? Come on, have just one. It's kind of that. Sober shaming is when we make somebody feel embarrassed or ashamed of their decision to not drink. And when we act like it's a weird decision, or it's kind of going against the norm. I remember in my early 20s when I was first trying to get sober and stop drinking, and I faced a lot of people saying, but you're so young, you should be drinking and making big mistakes, and it's a rite of passage, and you should be experimenting and partying. And I just used to think, but at what cost? Because it was so affecting my mental health, and I was miserable. And so why do we expect young people to kind of fit into this box where they have to be drinking, or else they're considered not normal? And genuinely, that sober shaming stopped me from getting help sooner. It kept me drinking for longer, and it meant much bigger consequences for me as somebody that was struggling with an alcohol addiction. Particularly as a young person, alcohol is so ingrained into our experiences and into the fabric of our society. And so I thought, there is no way I can tell people that I'm 21 and sober. Everyone's going to think I'm insane. And I think we have come a ways since then, and I'm very pleased to say that, but it still exists. Wouldn't it be wonderful if young people who just don't get along with alcohol didn't have to feel that way? There seems to be this obsession with getting people to drink, and I don't understand it. We don't have it with any other drug, where we kind of judge people for not partaking. And listen, I get it. When I was a drinker, I was that person. I used to think if someone wasn't drinking, oh, are they judging my drinking? Does this mean we're not going to have as much fun? And that was not true. And sober shaming actually can stop people from asking for help or picking a sober route, which may be something that someone desperately needs, because they might not want to face the questions, the barrage of questions, or the having to explain themselves. And that is something that, unfortunately, I have to say does happen quite a bit. I'm asked questions constantly, particularly at weddings, I must say. Weddings in the UK, people are like, why aren't you drinking? People I've never met before. So, and I understand people's intrigue, I do, but wouldn't it be amazing if we could get to a place where we could all just coexist in an equilibrium, and drinking wasn't considered the norm, and that being sober wasn't considered strange or odd, where we just don't even notice that somebody's decided not to have a drink. You sober shame people? I hope not.